To make these delicious cookies, we're going to start with some whole wheat flour, some date sugar, and some baking powder. We're going to whisk those two together and combine them. I'm also going to add a little bit of vanilla bean powder. We're going to combine that together. And now I'm going to make a welt. And I'm going to add my flax egg little by little. Now we just add the rest. We're going to add some almond extract and some cinnamon. You want to add a good amount of cinnamon and a good amount of almond extract. This is going to make these cookies taste so good. Now we're just going to combine our dough together. In the bowl, we try to combine all the flours together. We're not really kneading like a pizza dough. We're just kneading to combine. Try to combine all the flour together, all the bits, and put them all together and try to make a solid dough. These cookies are so delicious. I don't know if you've ever remembered, they used to sell these cookies that look like alphabets, and they taste like almond extract and like cinnamon and vanilla. They taste so good. Now we're going to remove it from the bowl, and we're going to continue kneading. And we want this to be nice and smooth, a nice smooth dough. So we'll knead for about 3 to 5 minutes. We don't want to develop the gluten of any kind. This is not a pizza dough or a bread. We're just needing to combine and to make this dough smooth. Okay? Okay, so once we knead it, we're going to allow this to sit for about 30 minutes and let the dough rest and cool before we shape our cookies and bake them. To shape our cookies, we're going to add a little bit of whole wheat flour at the top. And now we're going to use a rolling pin to flat out our dough as flat as possible and as large as possible. So stretch out our dough like a sheet. And this way we'll be able to shape all our cookies. And now we're going to just start shaping our cookies. And I have hearts, I have some stars, and I have like some circles. And I'm just going to shape the cookies. This dough is a dream to work with. I was able to shape all the cookies and bake them right away. I didn't have to put the dough back into the fridge like how I used to do with buttered cookies. So I love these plant-based cookies because they're so stable with the flax egg. I just love them. They're so good. They're amazing to work with. These cookies are so workable. So if this is your first try making cookies, I recommend this recipe because this recipe is just so easy. It's really hard to fail. It is just a forgiving dough. I really like working with whole wheat flour. Whole wheat flour is a very beautiful, submissive, obedient flour. It works with anything. It just does it does what you ask for it. But when you use other flours, I don't know, it's just so difficult. So we're just going to add our cookies to a sheet tray and bake them at 350 degrees for 10 minutes. And then you're going to drop the temperature down to 250 and cook it for another 10 minutes. And you want them to dry out and get crunchy. Okay? I'm going to add some cinnamon and some date sugar at the top, so it's very sweet and delicious. These cookies are so delicious. You can eat them with some golden milk or some chocolate abuelita, the ones that I make, of course. And once they're baked, this is the end result. This is how they're going to look. We want them to look nice and dark and make them crunchy. Because if they're not crunchy, they're going to be chewy. Okay? So make sure that you leave them in the oven enough time so they get nice and crunchy. You can also put them in the air fryer. You bake them till nice and soft and then put them in the air fryer and they get nice and crispy and crunchy and delicious.